Hi friends, this is Kasturi Day. Welcome to MouShauk, and we will be discussing the remaining part of the question answer section of the hygiene chapter, a key to healthy life. Okay, this is according to ICSE syllabus part 5. Okay, so let's start with. And before I start the discussion on the question answers, I would request you to please to subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed yet, or if you are a new viewer to my channel. And if you are liking the videos, press the like button, share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from this video. And do meditate before you start your day. So we will also start with the short meditation, and for that, please to concentrate on the point of light. Since the light is falling on you, the body of yours is elevated, the feeling very relieved, relieved, and the feeling that is a feel more management. It is empty of any worries and tensions. You can memorize more. You can reciprocate them more in your papers. And at the end of the day, just feeling very deep, relaxed, and getting good jobs working, getting motivation from everyone. God, and choose the meditation here, and choose the meditation. So, there's the difference between, we'll start with, the Culex and the Anopheles mosquito. Okay? So, what is the difference between the Culex mosquito and Anopheles mosquito? Culex mosquitoes sit parallel while resting. That is, when they rest, they sit parallel to the resting state, like this. And Anopheles mosquito, while resting, they sit obliquely, like this. So that is the difference between Culex and Anopheles mosquito, number one. Then, second is, the Culex mosquito have wings which are unspotted. The wings of the Culex mosquito are unspotted, whereas Anopheles mosquitoes have the wings which, they have wings are which have dark spots on them. Okay? So Anopheles mosquito have wings which have dark spots, whereas the wings of the Culex mosquito are unspotted. Then Culex mosquito lays their eggs in rafts and they are erect. Okay, they remain erect and they are laid in rafts. Okay, whereas eggs of the Anopheles mosquito are laid singly and they are horizontal. Okay? So these are the differences between a Culex mosquito and an Anopheles mosquito. Then we come to the difference between house mosquito and a housefly. So we know both of them are disease carriers. They are both vectors. But mosquito usually they are small with a slender body, long legs, and a long proboscis. Whereas housefly, they're typically gray in color. They have certain dark stripes on them, on their thorax rather, and their proboscis is smaller, not as long as a mosquito, but it is small. Okay, and they're not so slender. They're a little bit fatty. Then mosquito feed on the blood of the animals, including the humans. But housefly, they do not feed on the blood of animals, but they feed on the decaying organic matter. Mosquitoes have the sucking and piercing mouth part, whereas housefly they have sucking mouth part, not piercing, but only sucking. Whereas mosquitoes have sucking as well as piercing. That's why their proboscis is pointed. Then mosquitoes have they have narrow wings, whereas houseflies, they have broad wings. Okay. Mosquitoes have a long and slender abdomen, whereas houseflies, they have short and oval abdomen. And overall, their body is a little bit thicker than as compared to that of the mosquitoes. Then we come to the next question, that is, what are STDs? Give an example. So STDs are what? They are sexually transmitted diseases. STD full form are sexually transmitted diseases. They're the infections that are spread from one person to another through sexual contact. Okay? They're also known as venereal diseases, okay? Like gonorrhea, syphilis, etc. Then we come to some give reasons. Why the eating places must be kept clean? Because we have seen that if the eating places are not clean, then flies, we can see flies moving around. Because flies, they live in the dirty and unclean places, which can cause diseases, spread diseases. So eating places should be clean so that the flies do not come there and spread the disease. It is healthier to breathe by nose and not by mouth. In our nose, we have certain hairs, okay, that act as a sieve for the dust particles as well as for the germs. Okay. So when we breathe through our nose, the dust particles, the germs which stay in the air, when we are breathing through the nose, when the air is going through the nose, they get trapped in the hairs of the nose, and they do not get inside our body, inside our lungs. But if we breathe through our mouth, then the mouth do not have these hairs, and so the dust particles and the germs which may be present in the this one air which we are breathing in, that will enter into the lungs directly. Will not be trapped inside the mouth. But if we take to the nose, if we breathe into the nose, then it can be trapped inside the hairs of the nose. So that's why it is advised to breathe into the nose and not to the mouth. Why is it necessary to control mosquitoes? We know mosquitoes are the vectors of certain diseases like malaria, dengue, elephantiasis, etc. What do they do? That this, when they sucking blood, okay, if they suck the blood of a diseased person, when it's piercing and sucking the blood, the germs of the diseased person that gets inside the body of the mosquito, okay, and it becomes the carrier. Now, when the same mosquito sits on a healthy person and sucks the blood of that healthy person, when it is piercing the healthy person's body, the skin, the germs And what do they do when they're piercing it? They release some liquid so that the blood which they will suck, that doesn't clot. So that time when they're releasing that liquid, that the germs inside the mosquito's body, that enters into the healthy person, and thereby affecting the person's health, and the healthy person gets that disease. Even the male mosquitoes that make sounds. Oh, we have heard no from the mosquitoes. So that interrupts our sleep. So it is necessary to control the mosquitoes. Now, hands must be washed before eating. Why it is so? Because our hands and the nails that carry dirt and a large number of germs, which can cause many diseases. And if we eat our food without washing our hand, then those germs which are present in our hand and the nails, that will enter our food, and through that food it will enter into our body, and that can cause diseases. So hands should be washed before eating food. The saline water injection is a must for cholera patient. Why is so? Cholera, we know we have loose motion and vomiting in cholera. Too much of loose motion and too much of vomiting takes place. So that in that case, there is loss of water and salt from the body. Even urea gets accumulated inside our body when we have cholera. So that becomes fatal. If not treated properly, the person can die. So to compensate that salt and water, we need to give that person orally, or from outside we need to compensate that loss so that the urea which is getting accumulated gets washed away. For that, we need to give them saline water. Clear? Next. Complete the table. Typhoid. The disease, mode of transmission is through contaminated food and water. And how do we prevent typhoid? Proper sanitation. Then we come to the disease cholera. This is also spread through contaminated water and also by dust and flies. The water gets contaminated by any process. If the food or if the water which we are taking, that gets contaminated in the ground only, if the drain water or sewage water mixes with that drinking water, that can also cause cholera. Or the water which we are drinking, we are keeping it in our home, okay, that gets contaminated, that can also cause the cholera. Or if the flies which are causing the disease, that anyhow contaminates the water, that can also create cholera. So the prevention mode is anti-choleral injections, then avoiding contamination of water, and keeping our food covered. Okay. Then trachoma. Trachoma is a disease which is transmitted by housefly. It's an eye disease. So prevention will be, we should clean our eyes with warm water. And as it is transmitted by houseflies, so we should avoid the flies are sitting on our body and also keeping the surroundings clean. Okay. Next is plague. The plague is caused by rats. Not caused, it is transmitted through rats. So for that, we should trap and dispose of the rats or kill the rats and buy suitable rat poison or raticides, you can say. Okay. Next is answer the following. What is hepatitis? What are its symptoms? What are the preventive measures? Hepatitis is an infection of the liver. Hepatitis. Hepat is liver, anything concerned with liver. And itis is the infection. The infection of the liver, which is caused by virus and transmitted through contaminated water and body fluid. So what are the symptoms? Body ache, yellowish eyes, deep yellow urine, enlarged liver. So person who gets hepatitis have body aches, then yellowish eyes, urine becomes yellow, deep yellow, and the liver gets enlarged. So how do we prevent this hepatitis? By hepatitis vaccine, proper hygiene, and avoid taking fat-rich substance. Fat-rich foods we should avoid. How do physical exercise, rest, and sleep help us? So physical exercise improves our blood circulation. So it should be systematic and regular and practiced by all. So that improves physical exercises, improves our blood circulation. So this physical exercises should be systematic and regular, and that should be practiced by everyone at any age group. Now we come to rest and sleep. The rest and sleep gives all our body organs rest, including our brain also. So the body, we know that it needs adequate rest to get energized. Okay? So by sleep, adequate rest is the body gets adequate rest, okay, by sleep. So sleep amount varies with age. Adults need at least 6 to 7 hours of continuous undisturbed sleep, whereas the newborn child or small aged babies, they require almost, they sleep almost all throughout the day. So they require more sleep. Okay, and even the old age people, their sleep is very for short durations. But requirement of sleep for an adult is 6 to 7 hours at least, continuous undisturbed sleep. That's sufficient. That is sufficient for them. Now the figure depicts an insect. The figure is not here. I'm telling you, it's other mosquito figure. Okay? The figure is of the mosquito, and how does it affect the human? Mosquito spreads diseases because they're the vectors such as malaria, elephantiasis, yellow fever, etc. Then the mosquito disturbs our sleep by making sounds, buzzing sound. Okay. Now, give 2 ways to control it. How should we control the mosquitoes? First is by destroying their breeding places. How can we do that? By filling up the small ponds or puddles where the water gets accumulated, we should clear those breeding places because in that stagnant water, the mosquitoes generally breed. Okay? And then another way is introducing Gambusia fishes in the ponds. These are very small fishes and they feed on the larva, mosquito larva. So they can be introduced in the ponds. Okay. Next is also a diagrammatic question. Here also there is the diagram is missing. This is the figure of an Entamoeba histolytica. It's an amoeba. Okay. Now, where does it remain in our body? It remains in our intestine. How does it enter in the body? Through contaminated food and water. And what do they cause? Name the disease that is caused by it. It causes amoebic dysentery. Okay. So, this is the end of this chapter, Hygiene, a Key to Healthy Life. Next chapter will start in the next video. So stay tuned and do watch and enjoy your day, enjoy your studies, do meditate and come back. Okay. So till then, have a good day and do revise the videos. Thank you. Thank you for joining.